human minds cannot work up before 8 hours or even after 12 hours. So that's how tirelessly people worked. So that's wellness, and we have lost many of the people due to that tiredness, and even the safety precautions was not measured that time, and it's just to serve and to make sure the patient revive and everything. So we lost many big player, even doctors we lost it. We lost many good nurses, we lost it.
The steel industry is segmented into two different ways. One is a very, very professional, where big players like Tata, JSW, people like us, they are there. There, I will say that safety, the employee wellness with regard to the healthy working conditions, safety, everything we give a very, very high importance on that. We have a department to take care of that. Hey, hi Jatin. Very
Hi,
good
hi.
morning.
Good morning, good morning. How are you?
All well, Jatin. Glad to share this platform with you. So, for our viewers who are going to watch this podcast later on, my name is Pawan Damani. I represent a company called Monet Group, which is into core industry like steel, mining, real estate, and many other things. It's a diversified group. So, with an experience of 30 years, this is and thank you very much. Really happy to discuss a very pertinent subject which relate to any industry. It's called employee wellness. So, before we start, if you can introduce yourself to our viewers.
Yep, definitely, Pawan. Glad to know about you and from Diversify Industry. My name is Jatin Joshi, and I am the Group CEO of the Maitri Medical Limited, who is having 4 hospitals in Surat and 9 hospitals I'm handling other in Gujarat and Maharashtra. And I am having our own company called Vipraj Healthcare. I'm the director of that, and we provide O&M, all the services and the Turnkey project to the hospital and the healthcare industry. And 24 years of experience of mine, and the biggest experience which is I had it is which is I worked with our beloved Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He was CM of Gujarat that time, so I was handling Ayushman Bharat for Gujarat and other 9 states.
Great.
So good to share with you the other industry player, and obviously we are talking about the great employee wellness in industry.
Right. So you are the man to catch on. Great. So Jatin, let's first discuss. Once we start on this topic, let's first discuss, or let me say, what do we mean when we say employee wellness? So, what's your take on that?
I believe employee wellness is just not a physical, it's a mental health, because nowadays it's every industry have a different type of mental stress. Like in steel, the mental stress is a different route to take care of health and everything. If I talk about my health industry, healthcare worker is actually we are doing clinical psychologist, OPD everywhere in hospital, but not clinical psychologist needs to be done with the healthcare worker. That are ignorance. So wellness is just not a physical, but physical, mental, and obviously to be a well-being. So this three aspects needs to be all together, and then needs to be analyzed. That way, I believe the wellness is to be defined.
Right, right. I completely agree with you. As I believe, and you rightly said that different industry has a different kind of stress level, different kind of atmosphere. And I believe that this podcast we can bring out many different facets of employee wellness because we belong to two different industry. You represent healthcare industry. I representing the core industrial sector, which is in a very core industry, which called steel mining and things like that. And so, with your experience in healthcare and my all along experience in this core industry, we believe that this is going to be a great, great conversation.
And
So,
in your industry, what it means for the wellness, like what it does mean for the wellness in especially in the industry of steel, and in your view, even just not particularly the rigid to the steel industry, a broader perspective for the wellness of that.
see, when I with the core industry, there is a challenge that the work atmosphere is completely different when you talk about the soft floor because the plants and the if you call mining, the sites, site work, there things. If you talk about wellness, this the challenges are more. Corporate is always this everywhere. It is the same thing. But having said and done, I won't say that our industry has overlooked employee wellness as a whole. So there's the shift is always of 8 hours only. There's a misconception that in steel industry people have to work more. It's not like that. The shift are of 8 hours only. It's important how do you make your employees feel during those 8 hours? Are they feeling happy with the kind of working atmosphere you are providing them? Or it's that's the challenge for steel industry. We have the steel industry is segmented into two different ways. One is a very very professional where big players like Tata, JSW, people like us, they're there. I will say that safety, the employee wellness with regard to the healthy working conditions, safety, everything we give a very very high importance on that. We have a department to take care of that. But on the other side, we have a very kind of unorganized industry as well. I won't say unorganized, they are big companies, but the 45 hours a week, we call them as a secondary steel producers. There we feel that because I worked with them as well. So their safety is just a word. So that is an area of concern because that's a very challenging working condition for there. You will find very challenging working conditions for employees. But in corporate, usually these are all big industries. Things are fine. So, what about your industry? Healthcare, I believe that it works 24 into 7. And are there any burnout issues or something which you feel?
But the huge challenge where when we talk about healthcare industry, it's initially when we talk about healthcare, it's initially it comes in the noble cause. So when doctors treat the patient, is come in the noble cause. So even though your working hour is restricted to 8 hours or 8.5 hours, but practically it is not happen anywhere because here you serve 24/7. Even Indian laws and Supreme Court has given so many other guidelines that even so you have to serve the patient and you have to treat the patient even they have the money or not, even your shift is over or not, even you are stressed out or not, or you have did almost 12 hours of surgery and then after you are burned out and even you are not able to identify the disease as well, still you have to mentally to be strong and needs to treat the patient. So if you look at it across the industry, the healthcare worker, because it comes under essential service, so it's a very very huge challenge for every other industries. But the healthcare is the most. I can say, that especially in the COVID times, the government sent it up
Yeah,
as a notification that you need to be on tour by 24/7. So even human minds cannot work up before 8 hours or eight, even after 12 hours. So that's how tirelessly people worked. So that's wellness. And we have lost many of the people due to that tiredness, and even the safety precautions was not measured that time. And it's just to serve and to make sure the patient revive and everything. So we lost many big player, even doctors we lost it. We lost many good nurses, we lost it because because their COVID and their infection is on a higher grade level, so you cannot even revive them. It's in a 3 day
right.
they just gone away because they have treated so many patients, so their infection is so high, even though they have all the things which is mask and everything was even taken care of that. But so that's how it is. The safety for the healthcare worker, the wellness for the
Right.
healthcare worker was very, 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 very important because in hospital, if you see there is 120 or 200 bedded or 900 bedded hospitals, the precautions are obviously major taken care by the guideline of the CDCC of the European guideline and obviously the Indian IMBC guideline and everything. Still, there are so many other gaps. There are precautionary measures are not taken care by the obviously the small players. The major player which are big, same way as like your industry, the major player, the big corporates, hospital, they do take care of their people wellness, and they do the frequently every quarter their health wellness check and everything. But the small player, the single-handed doctor, doesn't have so much of the idea. They don't. So I can say in your industry is 45%, in our industry 10% corporate, 90% is a single owner. So the
Oh,
safety and wellness is on a toes. So
Oh,
that is a
that's
huge.
pretty challenging.
Yeah, that is very very
That's
challenging. I have seen it because if you look at it, the doctors who is owning the hospital, they don't follow, and even the government have a relaxation for them as well. So if it is a corporate, there is no relaxation, but doctor own hospital have a relaxation, so the protocol are not followed, and the obviously wellness of the especially healthcare worker, the nursing, the doctors,
yeah,
the co-workers, even admin staff and the management, they are on toes of the wellness. You are surprised to know that people are literally, in fact, even they don't have a protocol. Like in corporate, we have a training sessions. You don't go on a hungry stomach or on an empty stomach to the hospital because the infection are so much there. So you straight away get the infection. So you have to make sure the safety needs to be checked by the at the security level that okay, you have a breakfast, don't have it, then go and first have a breakfast and then enter into the hospital. So such type of the basic protocol is guideline is defined, but no stringent follow up by any of the hospitals. So so
you
wellness.
know, you rightly said, and I just remembering one thing that in many companies, like in our industry as well, there are protocols, there are rules made to ensure that employee wellness with regard to safety, healthcare, and everything. But as you rightly said, the people start thinking that these protocols as a burden rather than thinking that this is what we call employee wellness. So in healthcare, in COVID, the respect for the healthcare has gone way, 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 very high, notch high. And so when you're talking about the burnout things, which were in healthcare, you're saying that burnout is something where you don't know how much the people have to work for more hours, as it happens in COVID time and all. But in in our industry, usually it doesn't happen because the shifts are well planned and there's nothing this kind of seriousness that planned, even if there are shutdowns or something. So burnout, in my I have a different take on burnout. That burnout doesn't happen if you love your work. you know it's toxic work culture that creates burnout. If you're it depends on many factors, including the holistic state of the physical, mental, and your emotional health at work. So it's very much dependent on the leadership, how to create an atmosphere, good working atmosphere, where where people can feel good while they're working. They start, they love to go to their workplace. So it's completely a top down process, where you need to ensure as a leader that every person feels good in your organization. Because usually when a person leaves a company, he you don't leave a he don't leave actually company, he leaves his boss. Because you join a company because the company is good, company is doing well, financially good, they're giving you a good salary and everything. But still he leaves, he looks for other opportunity, because you didn't give him that comfort. And who can give him that comfort? His immediate boss. So that's very, very crucial, that the reporting boss has a very, very high responsibility. And that's the culture the leadership can create within an organization, if they really want to ensure to that they get a dedicated employees for long run. Because company is nothing but made of good people. So what's your take on this, Jatin?
I believe, like in other industries, it's still happening. Like if we talk about if as an healthcare worker or as in a doctor industry, as in from healthcare side, if you ask any doctor who are in era of 80s and 90s, if you ask you want your son or daughter to be a doctor, then they're seriously saying no. I have an
Ah,
example. I didn't quote the name of one of the two very big shots of the doctor. Husband wife both are doctor. One is gynecologist, wife is radiologist. Their both sons are into the board in Gujarat board. They are in 12th. They are in a number one and number two, or in 1 to 10 of the Gujarat board. Still, they don't choose to be in a medical fraternity, and they choose IT. Why? The three reason. 24 by 7, you will be on a toe. less appreciation, and the thankless job. The major thing for the healthcare doctor or anybody, it's a thankless job. So even though you treat patient with a smile, you have to be smile. Even though you look at it so many things which normally usually you do the product, but here you have to taken care with the humans, and still the thankless job will be there. And it's just not from the patient side as well, it's from the management side. You rightly said, so it's from the management side, because even they are also frustrated. It's just not a one sided, it's all the people who are frustrated because they work tirelessly, and it's a thankless job. Even though when the any patients or any of the corporate pays the money, there's you charge it for that. So it's nothing to be thanked. Even tirelessly you have made an effort. I have seen the
Right.
families where they didn't even admire the healthcare worker or the doctor, and especially the cardiac arrest people come to the hospital. Even what when they need to be reached in that golden hour, they even didn't identify. And when they reach to the hospital, it's almost still almost all the doctors, all the healthcare worker try to do the CPR and everything. Almost 45-50 minutes they bring it down. His heart needs to be pumped or something like that. But after 15 minutes of tireless work to revive that patient, and they declare death to any of the patient, and that entire mob will be, you didn't tried it. So it's a thankless.
Uh,
So it's a thankless job, and that's the reason many of the doctors don't want their children to be a doctor. Even healthcare worker, if you ask any of the, if you go in university and college in 12, 10, 12 size, and if you ask the any only Kerala, if you look at it, India have a nursing staff most from the Kerala. Any Gujarati,
yeah,
any
yeah,
Punjabi, any of the part of the people, if you ask them, do you want to become a nurse, a male nurse or a female nurse? Then they
you
say, "Yeah, no." So shortage of staff, that is the one reason. Thankless job, there is a second reason. No good payout, there is a fourth reason. And there is no recreation like any other industry is having.
oh,
There is no recreations. Because you are on tour, you are in the party, you are having your family wedding, your daughter's wedding, and sudden patients came to your hospital. You need to reach out. Even your daughter's wedding is there, a doctor needs to be reach out. The other staff, the OT staff, even they where they are, even you are on a holiday and
right.
you are in the same city, you need to be reach out. So so that's
Jatin,
particularly, so that's the major reason healthcare industry become very, very, very shortage of staff, and especially skilled for the medical fraternity as well, the other staff as well. So that is how the wellness is to be defined. So that wellness needs to be in industry change. It needs to become there that the other industry, what they do the for wellness is, first needs to be appreciation, and second needs to be the 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 particularly skilled staff needs to be there, and then how the industry go for the wellness. So that was the my view.
Jatin,
Yeah.
to you, as an individual, as a person, as a representative of a person not from the healthcare industry, I would like to convey to everyone, associated with healthcare industry that guys, we don't think your work as thankless. We are indebted to you for what you guys are doing. You have compromised your personal life. The way you take care of the people who are going to you in a bad shape only. Nobody is going to you when they are in good condition. So, from the core of my heart, from everyone in this world, we thank you. So, it's not a thankless
Yeah.
job. Yes, when it comes to, I agree with you on one aspect that in the healthcare industry, because I know partially about it, because we have a company which is into placement of people abroad. So the pay scale, as you said, that the financials in this healthcare industry is not very lucrative as on date. So, for example, correct me if I'm wrong, but my data are right because we are doing it. We are finding challenges getting good skilled workers in healthcare industry, in nursing industry, because nurses are the backbone, right? In majority of them are from Kerala, as you rightly said,
Yeah.
and you will surprise that everyone from Kerala wants to go abroad.
Yes.
So we have our connections with the European countries, Japan, UK, where we are getting a lot of demand for nurses, the registered nurses, care workers. So we are sending them to Japan and Germany, in many places, because they have to learn the language which they are doing. But the kind of gap I heard with the pay scale which they're getting in those countries and in our country, I can't even imagine. They are getting a, a GNM. A
Yeah.
GNM can get an around 1.5 lakhs in terms of INR in Japan or Europe or wherever you say. Whereas in India, I believe it's hardly 10-15,000 a
Yeah. It's
fresher.
very rightly you have said. It's very true.
Registered nurse, registered nurse are getting the freshers, those who have just passed, graduated as a registered nurse with BSc nursing, they are getting 2.5 lakhs
Yes.
on
True.
date
True.
of joining. Just they have to learn the language and what we are giving. And I completely agree. We are running short of staff, and we don't have skilled staff. I second your thoughts. You know, just tell me, what is the role of how crucial the role of HR in healthcare industry?
HR is very, very, very crucial role, especially the healthcare worker. You rightly said. The most of the nursing, even doctors. I'll give you the example of Dubai, UAE, and Africa, both. Uh, Africa, especially East Africa, I can tell you. East Africa is like a medical tourism for the African, 52 countries of African country, in Kenya especially. All 52 countries of Africa's patients come to the Nairobi. And what they want is doctors from India. So high demand for the doctors from India, so they go from here. Same way UAE, if you look at it, everybody demands the Indian doctors because because we are 140 crores of the population and we have that type of expertise. What is complex for the other European country is a simplex for Indian country. Yes, we are not invented so much into the research and everything because
Oh, okay.
here we don't give a chance to the doctors or the nursing or the other staff or even the research moleculars. We don't give so much of support by the government and the other private players. So they are more into research. But if you talk about any of the diseases, because and our population is so high, our manpower is so low against them, so they have to do a fastest work. I'm talking about even Gujarat, Ahmedabad, Asia's largest civil hospital, where daily OPD is 10,000 people in a day. So almost in a 6 hour, they look at the 10,000 people. You just have a number of any other European country or any of the US thing, they hardly see a 10 people in a day of any MBBS doctor. Here, if you are in MBBS study or you are R1, R2 or R3, they are bare minimum looking 400 patient in a day. So that is how huge experience. So that's why I say, okay, what is complex for other countries, a simplex for the India. And that's why we are high demanding in abroads. And that's the reason shortage of staff. And obviously the pay scale is very low because of the talent acquisition we don't admire. And if we look at HR role now, HR is always on a toe because some nursings are joined. 6 months we train and we make it his ICU and emergency needs to be taken care and every training needs to be done. Abroad, call is there or some big corporates hire them. So again, new staff will become. So they are, especially nursing and doctors are so high demanding and other healthcare people are so demanding, especially because of the right kind of right job people are so shortage. So once they get the opportunity, they moved out. So the HR role is to recruiting each and every day for any corporate HR from other industry and the especially the healthcare HR is a two different crucial role is coming in a play, and they have to understand pay scale and every month there is a recruitment going on. 140 60 people needs to be higher. Again, second month, 60 people needs to be higher. So if you look at any other HR, only when they opens up, then and then that it comes in the place. Or otherwise, the big shift will be happen. Then and then HR role very crucial. Here, HR role is very, very much important to recruit every month. Especially the nursing staff is like haywire.
What do you think? Where's the gap? Why so much, rotation on this nursing staff, which is very crucial for healthcare industry? Because, healthcare industry runs on a word of mouth.
Yep, yep.
I go to one hospital, I find something good, I'll say to 10 people. And similarly, if I find something bad, I tell to this 100 people that
Yeah.
don't even try that hospital. And it's not the premises which makes an hospital. But
It's not.
similarly, any industry is the people who make this uh, hos- uh, any organization an organization. So, I think at you being at the leadership position right now, you guys need to focus on this, because somewhere there's an employee wellness or using the financial instability, because working condition, I can consider that they won't find much difference in if they switch from one hospital to other. It's majorly the financial thing, which is where the rotation is high. So, I believe that HR is, with regards to when we're just talking about the role of HR, I believe that they are the moderator of this major aspect of employee wellness. They are the link of any employees to the entire organization. So they have to create an atmosphere, they have to make them feel comfortable. First, the assessment of skill gap with the leadership, train them, an arrangement of proper training for the people to make them feel that they come up with certain things and they're enhancing their level, upskilling. Once the feeling of upskilling coming to the employees, they feel good, that we are learning something. That's where, in our industry, companies like Tatas and Jindals and us, we believe so much in training and upskilling. We keep doing some of the other programs. Our HR is quite active on this. So, the creating fun activities to connect the interdepartment. Usually you work in your own department, you interact with them only. You won't make friends outside your department. So connecting them through a fun activity, like we do some team events like cricket match. So where you don't have to know how to play cricket. You have to be in the team. So we make sure that no one departments are in one team. They are in different zones. So then you connect. You know each other. We have in our corporate office, we have around 300 people right now sitting, and I can say that almost 300 people knows me by name, by face. We interact wherever we go, and it's a good interaction. So it's very important that the role of HR to connect the employee with the organization, not with the department only. Once he connects with the organizations, he see many other things, many other facets of the organization as well. So there I feel that that, and their problem solving attitude. They have to make them accessible to each employee. You have to make them feel every employee that your HR is accessible if you have any other issue. you know, and their problem solving nature. They will come up with some issues. That's fine. So they are the bridge between their, the emotional, professional, mental, and financial, you know, d- conditions. So that's very crucial. While they are responsible for having discipline within the organizations, they are the one who can make the working as a fun activity as well. So I believe that HR has a very, very important role, that will create, workplace productivity and employee retention, because it's very important for the growth of any organizations when you have a long-term, employee retentions. I'm firmly and I'm proudly say that in steel industry, the retention rate is very high. That won't find a person leaving a company quite soon until unless he gets a something something which is phenomenally high or something like this. We have in our organization, we have majority of people more than 10 years or something like this. But yes, that HR role is quite crucial in that. So what do you think?
I believe that given so many ups and downs, the
Yeah.
industry, especially if we talk about healthcare, it's a lot of ups and downs. So many things are not in place as the other industry is in place. Still, they are
They are
there to help and what you call the warmly feeling, the make sure that the feelings comes in a place
please.
by each
I
employee. So if because in healthcare there are
in
a lot of
healthcare, there are a
department,
lot of
everything will be there,
departments there.
but the major thing is there when
Sir,
they are
they are
when they
with
join the
the
organization.
non-stop
Even HR
good
do
contract
handholding or something like that, but the
and that
HODs, if I talk about
I talk
healthcare,
about the
like nursing in charges,
nursing charges
the
that
medical superintendent, even the management guys,
that
they make sure that he
same
got the warmth.
what
He
I
feels like he will be in the his home or another home because almost 8 to 12
most
hours they spend it into the hospital and where they have to treat the patient. So whatever things will be, they are there. But we need the healthcare industry give it that warmth to each and every of their employee, even if they are from the management, they are from the non-clinical side, they are from the clinical side. But that usually it is happen. And the most major thing is happen, which is I believe uh, the healthcare worker are having good access to the diseases for the surgeries, and even they are there to society to guide. So when they come to the industry, they are fresher. But when even you can talk about any of the people require any medical treatment, we straight away know okay, who is working in the hospital, even though they are nursing, they are ward boy, or even they are medical superintendent, or they are technicians. We straight away call, okay, I need to done the echo or I need to done the MRI. Where should I go? Do you have any reference? So industry works on the reference. So that's how the healthcare people are jointly together become like a family. So obviously the upgradation of the HR engagement activity like other industry needs to be there because it's a very particular for the wellness. Like I have seen the insurance industry, I have seen the telecom industries when the recreations are there. Even though
right.
you got 30 minutes, 40 minutes annoyed call, then you have another area of recreation, you have to bang on the things. So that type of, because here you are dealing with the so many humans where their feelings are there to their relatives, to their near and dear ones. So their anger or their emotions are very much true because they are attached to that. And the healthcare worker is also there to help, but obviously they have to observe that anger. But after that, what needs to be done? Same way, the insurance and the telecom sector, where they have a break, they have the chartboard system, they have the half an hour sleep system, they have a table tennis system, and so many other recreation system which is other industries having, but healthcare people doesn't have it. And so that burnout or that needs to be taken care by the HR and their engagement activity. And that's to be taken care of by the wellness of the people. So that's efficiency level go higher. They're more efficient.
Absolutely.
And because once you bond out, once you will be free from your mental stress, you are able to give 1000% to your services. So that's I feel the major role which you truly said the HR needs to be play a very crucial role, and he needs to be stand up to the organizations and to the society, and especially for their employee, that how should he make their employee recreation activity, how should they support that, how they are their wellness, especially the mental wellness, because your mental is affecting your physical. So your
Right.
mental wellness needs to be taken care, and that how they can try it out to bring it out from the other industry. That's a very crucial role for the HR.
I completely agree. The mental wellness is something which connects, which automatically give you health wellness as well as, the emotional wellness. So everything is interconnected. If you are mentally feeling exhausted, you are exhausted mentally. You won't get exhausted physically. I'm telling you.
Yes,
it's
very
it's
very
your
true.
and you can feel tired sitting at the chair also. if you're doing something like such, it's all the, the burnout, the exhaustion is everything is mental. So I completely agree. You have to make them feel comfortable within the organizations. At least the behavioral pattern of your towards your junior employees. How do you make them feel like a family? It's very important. I completely agree. And uh, people use a word called employee wellness program. So I personally believe that it something which is it can't be in the form of a program. it
Yes.
it should be an integral part of the work culture. you know you cannot chalk out a program for the for meeting up individuals emotional and physical needs. So it need to be imbibed with the work culture, that as you said, that there must be some activities to allow people to at least once a year or something, to make sure that, okay, I understand in healthcare it's a challenge that everyone cannot go at a time, but you can plan it. So, with your words, I believe that healthcare, which is very crucial industry for everyone, where the individuals working with the healthcare are more important, they need to be kept in a in a good health, with good mental, physical, and financial health. All three things needs to be taken care, and government needs to play a crucial role on this, because you can find the difference if you go to a government hospital and a private hospital. That they're doing the same thing, but the difference is the work culture.
Yeah. So I can
So
adding to your this thing, that mental
yeah,
wellness, especially European countries have a mental wellness clinics. Is
right,
there everywhere in industry. Even in India now, South especially been very much aware. So mental wellness is very much now picking up uh, in the South area. Still, there are a lot of things in every industry, not just about the healthcare, but the wellness is actually related to you rightly said, the mental things needs to be taken care. So even being clinical side, we are there to be clinical psychologists, we are there, but we need to be taken care of our employee, and especially all the directors, because they also taken care of a lot of pain and other things. So their mental wellness. So from is perspective is just not employee. Perspective is the owner, because even he is not mentally well, he will be do many other things to the industries, to their empire. So everybody needs to be taken care of their mental wellness, and that program needs to be promoted across the globe. And now European countries, which you call first world country in our language, they are very much aware about that. But we need to adopt it, and we need to be drive, especially from it's drive from top to bottom. So it's drive from the management and then the HR, and that's how the employee wellness program will supposed to be introduced for the wellness.
right. So one important aspect which I feel, which is crucial for both, both kind of for our industry as well as healthcare. For healthcare, it's probably little more when it when it comes to technology and use of technology, automation, and so-called AI in today's world. In one line, I heard our Miss India Ayushi was telling that AI should be the responsible servant, not the dangerous master.
Yes. So that is how it is. But AI is very much helpful for the tier 2 and tier 3 city, where your cardiac attack, where your CT scan reporting, because radiologists are not available in the cities, where AI can help it out for digitalize their image and identify the problems. So you don't need to be travel to tier 1 city or the metro cities for the identifying the things. If the machineries are there in the install, so AI will be help it out. The things is very well.
So in India, when I'm talking about employee wellness, about individuals' wellness in our country, when I assess India as a country, and if I do a SWOT analysis of India, I find one point which is common in all: strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. That's our population. You know, so our population is our strength because we are the youngest country. 65% of our population is below the age of 35. So we have a huge workforce, young workforce. who can drive the growth. When it comes to weakness, it's no rocket science to understand that the high population is our weakness because we have to create so much job. That's why the pay scales are that not that high. The retentions, people get people at a lower cost. There are people who are ready to work the cost. Don't have job. They are ready to take away others' job at a. So things like that. And similarly, the trades, if you opportunity, India offers the biggest ever market. India offers the biggest ever market to the world. That's why every whole world is looking into India. Then it comes to trade. Always when you have such young force who needs employment all the time, so it's always a threat because young minds, if they are diverted into a wrong directions, it will going to be a disaster for the country. So it's challenge for India to keep our young force on the right direction, give them employment, suitable employment, arrange proper skilling programs so that we get the more skilled workers for different sectors of the industry. So challenges are there in India. Employee wellness, although the intentions are quite positive, the industry is working very 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 closely to ensure that every employee is taken care of. More jobs are getting created. The government's efforts are there. Companies like Swiggy, Zomato, all these things, they have created a lot of jobs. And I heard saying our minister that are they startup or not, but considering the position in India, the kind of population we have, we do need these kinds of. You can't. What would you do with AI? With these kind of people, with the kind of skill level they had? Please understand the education level. We are still not 100% literate country. So
Yes.
we must thank these promoters that you're creating a platform where people like this, the urban company, people like this, they can, earn their livelihood. They feel good. I was feeling so happy. Yesterday, a person from urban company has come to clean my house, my washrooms and fans and like this. So my wife offered him that, okay, if I call you directly, will you come and will you charge the same amount? We just tried. And I was so happy that he has been taken so much. He has been, there was the company has taken so good care of him that he denied. Says, "Oh, ma'am, आप company का app है उसी से करिए." So I was really, 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 really happy to hear that. That
Yeah.
that means that Urban Care has given them a platform where they are probably earning much more. I was talking to a plumber. I said, when I called them through this urban company, I said, how much you are earning now? What is the difference the urban company has made in your life? They said earlier we were hardly earning 10,000, 12,000 kind of things with doing this because we are just dependent on phone calls.
Mhm.
Today, I'm earning more than 50,000 minimum per month.
Yes.
So that's what. Then that's another kind of it's called employee wellness. They are trained. They train them in this whatever skill they have. They upskill them so that when you are giving them services, that you are see you know them as an urban company guys. So
Yes.
that's what if every company take that responsibility, make sure that every employee is well trained to their job, upskill them. You won't get every industry has a different pattern of working. But once he's in your organization, make sure that he's upskilled to match the expectations of your organization so that wherever he represent your organizations, he you know you, he shares a good name about your organization only. So it's a good employee can create a good organization. And similarly, a organization's top line and bottom line very much depends on employees' contribution. So,
Very,
what,
very, very
what do you
well
think?
said. Very well
What do you
said.
think?
Pawan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one
you
leadership. Yeah, please.
leadership plays very crucial role. They are the one who are the path finders and part takers, both ways. And leadership in the healthcare is a huge, huge responsibility uh, towards society. It's just not their employee or the health worker, it's towards society. Because empathize, taken care, a right treatment in a right way, in a right manner, on a right time.
Right.
Huh. Right
Correct.
treatment, right way, on a right time, in a right manner. So very, very, very crucial roles by the leaders in healthcare. And you rightly said the urban company. The same way here in healthcare. Nowadays, you require a second opinion. You require third opinion. It's very, very, very much easy. If you talk about the gamma knives, so where are there? So everyone knows. The Google has helped me out. That Bombay, Bangalore, Pune, you straight away go there. Proton therapy, go Apollo, Hyderabad. Straight
Right.
up.
So that's
So
that's how you create a
that
name.
that's
It's
how it
the
is.
name
That
is not.
you
Yeah.
are into village and you require a doctor is not there. A teleconsultation is there. So your physician, your normal findings, you have any other problems, you don't need to go to the clinic. You just go book a slot, a teleconsultation. The physician will be there. He prescribes. Pharmacy will be at your doorsteps. The laboratory test, if you
Right.
talk about Veluvanam
Absolutely. And they're on your mobile app, nothing
mobile
else.
app, and your
Like
like pharmacy and everything will be
Tata,
on your doorstep. So
yeah,
nowadays,
Tata One MG Pharmacy, that's all. Absolutely. So these have actually helped you. It has actually helped you. They have created jobs rather than you going to the shop and buying and coming.
yeah,
You have there's a one man who was getting his livelihood for delivery of everything,
everything. Yeah.
whether it is taking a blood test or whatever it is. So I completed. So before we wrap up,
Mm.
Jatin, with your experience in the industry, let's share something for our young people, young entrepreneurs. What one leadership principle that you feel has shaped your career?
I believe that take a risk. Don't feel shy and don't feel that your dream is not going to be happen. You are not able to success. Take a risk. You initially
Right.
go along. Initially, you have owed alone, but then the people will join you. Your dream
Wow.
will definitely become a true. So take a risk
Wow. Wow.
in a right
Wow.
way.
Well said. I know in my professional career, I believe that as a leadership, yes, taking a risk is very, very rightly said. We have as a leader, it's our call to take a risk, and have to make the team most comfortable that
That
if anything goes wrong, I am responsible.
well,
Anything goes right,
the
it's
team is
your
there.
it's yeah. So you have to work as a team player. That all wrong is mine, all good is yours. Don't worry, you just go ahead because a leader is as good as his team is.
Yes.
Once there are people who don't like to work as a team, and that's what my personal feeling is. Having faith and trust in your team member. That's what the trait of that should be a trait of a leadership, because you are a leader because you have a team who is working under you. Otherwise, an individual, okay, as an individual, you can think whatever way you think. Your leadership comes as a manager, how good you are to manage your people under you, how comfortable they are feeling working under you. Are they feeling that you are contributing something to them? Obviously, you have to keep your mind also open that you are also learning from them. There are youth coming in, they have massive ideas, they have completely different way of looking at things. I when I interact with my son who is in London with British Petroleum, man, when I interact with him, I need to be on my toes, because what he says, because I get to know about, because they're, abroad, working atmosphere is completely different. Particularly in UK, they are they have a British culture, which is very much employee friendly.
Yes.
So, and moreover, the kind of exposure these youngsters have, you have to listen to them. Once you start listening to them, you will find that world is changing like anything. So that's what it is, brother.
So
Anything?
on with one example here. Uh,
Yeah.
lucky to fortunate travel in the Concorde, which was closed by Airbus and the Boeing 370, which was traveling in 6 hours from London to New York. And I'm lucky to have the last flights. I was traveling from London to JFK. And when I give an example of taking risk, in 2004, when I was traveling from London to JFK from New York, so Heathrow to New York, and there is a little boy, a 4 or 5 years boy, was sitting in a Concorde, and he was all alone. And I asked him that, "You are where are you going?" "I'm going to my uncle's place." "Where are you going?" Then he says, "Okay, I'm going to New York, and मैं को, who gonna pick you up?" Like, "My uncle." मैं को, "Do you have his number?" And he said me that, "Yes, I do have, and there are free calls in US. So if I landed on that, my mom is already informed the airlines that my uncle will going to pick up. His photograph and his passport is already there, and I can directly call the free call." So I was very much surprised. The 4 years boy travel all alone in a Concorde from London to New York without their parents, and he knows everything. So this is the one example which inspired me, that the 4 years boys, uh, obviously the in this world, in other countries, boys
Right,
will be taking risks. Here, Indian people, even your boy become 26, he says, "Ke, don't go to the Bombay, don't go to the Delhi. You require a lot of people are not good." The 4 years was traveling. So that's the major reason. Take a risk, meet the new peoples, explore the
right,
world,
right.
and then you will be taken care by the world.
Absolutely, absolutely. I completely agree. Travel around many countries in the world. I feel that wherever I go, I find something. When you interact with the locals, you find something. Be it Africa, be it Europe, be it US or UK, whatever you say, you find something different. Again, there's a very interesting things I just wanted to share that my son is in UK, so as a parents, we keep saying that you interact with the Indian community so that when there's a Diwali, Holi, you can go with it. But Dad, please understand, I am here to understand the world. I don't want to be in the loop. I know every Indian, what Indians can do. Now let me understand what others people are
Other
doing.
persons is that.
Yeah. So now he has all the friends. He has their Indian friends which are there. He has a lot of Brit friends, and there are many people who are coming from different countries like Turkey, European countries, and all. So he has friends of all different countries. So that's how they think. So that's what it is. The youngsters, the startups. I wish you all the best
Yep.
through this podcast as a senior as your young senior, or you can say your elder brother. I was just wanted to say that yes, this is a challenging time, but make sure that those who are joining your bandwagon to fulfill your dream, which you have started as a startup, please take care of their mental, emotional, and financial health, which we as a whole we call as a holistically we call employee wellness. Once they feel comfortable with you, once you have taken care of them as a family, please be rest assured that you are going to be a successful man. You are going to create a successful startup. So with this, Jatin, I just wanted to say thank you for sharing this platform. It's been very, very enriching discussion to understand your healthcare field more closely. And again, please convey my regards to each and every healthcare worker that we are thankful to them. It's not a thankless job they are doing.
Yes.
And it's great talking to you. And I
Mm.
believe this
It's
podcast
nice to
can
talk to you
create
about
some
as
value
well.
for people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very,
So
very,
thank
very
you.
thank you to you be on a platform and sharing the podcast with me, and
Yeah.
understanding the other industries and the perspective of the people. And thank you for the kindness you have shared for the all the healthcare people. And yes, the wellness, the be healthy and do you become wealthy. So be healthy.
Yes.
That's how the message is for the everyone.
That's brother. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jatin. It was great talking to you. And I believe, and thank you to the team who has given us this opportunity.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. See you.